Tell you about the last few months with my boyfriend. Yes, my boyfriend. Sometimes I still can't believe I get to say that. Date number 1. We went to a restaurant together. I spent way too much time getting ready because I wanted everything to be perfect. I changed my outfit about 5 times, did my hair twice, and kept asking myself if I looked okay. When I got there, I was so nervous. My hands were literally shaking. But the second we started talking, everything felt easier. We spent so much time laughing. We talked about school, our favorite movies, random childhood stories, and even the most embarrassing things that have ever happened to us. The food was really good, but honestly, I barely remember what I ate because I was paying more attention to him than the food. At one point, I laughed so hard that I almost spilled my drink. The whole date felt comfortable. Not awkward, not forced, just comfortable. When I got home, I remember smiling so much my cheeks hurt. And that's when I started thinking that maybe this wasn't just a crush anymore. Date number 2. A few days later, we went to a coffee shop. This date felt completely different. It was quieter, more relaxed. We found a little table and sat there talking for what felt like forever. We talked about our goals, things we wanted to do in the future, places we wanted to visit, and dreams we had when we were younger. I learned things about him that I never knew before. And for some reason, every little thing made me like him more. The way he talked, the way he laughed, the way he listened. The whole thing just felt really nice. Eventually, we realized we had been sitting there for hours. Neither of us wanted to leave. And honestly, that might have been my favorite part. Date number 3. This was the date where we baked a cake together. And let me just say, neither of us are professional bakers. The kitchen was a complete disaster. There was flour everywhere. We kept messing things up, we forgot ingredients, we had to restart parts of the recipe. At one point, we laughed so hard that neither of us could even focus. Eventually, though, we managed to make something that actually looked like a cake. After that, we sat down and watched The Vampire Diaries. We talked throughout half the episode. We made fun of characters, argued about who was right, and then we had our first kiss. I remember feeling like my heart completely stopped for a second. Everything got quiet, and afterward, I couldn't stop smiling. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Date number 4. We went out for muffins. Nothing fancy, nothing huge, just muffins. But somehow, it became one of the most important days ever. We spent the day walking around together and talking. At one point, we sat down and started talking about us, about how much time we had been spending together, about how much we enjoyed being around each other. And then he asked me if I wanted to be his girlfriend. For a second, I completely froze. I knew my answer. I just couldn't believe he was actually asking. Of course I said yes. And for the rest of the day, I couldn't stop smiling. Date number 6. This was the day he met my mom, and I was terrified. Absolutely terrified. I spent the entire day worrying about it. What if she embarrassed me? What if he got nervous? What if everything went wrong? Of course, the second everyone met each other, my mom immediately started telling embarrassing stories. I wanted to disappear, but somehow he handled it perfectly. He laughed, talked with her, was polite, and by the end of the day, everything actually went really well. Looking back, it's one of my favorite memories. Date number 7. This was the day he asked me to prom. I had absolutely no idea it was coming. We were hanging out like normal. Everything felt completely ordinary. And then suddenly he asked me. I remember staring at him for a second because I genuinely didn't process what he had just said. I was shocked, happy, excited, all at the same time. Of course I said yes. And afterward, I spent the rest of the day thinking about prom. Date number 8, prom dress shopping. This took forever, literal forever. We looked at so many dresses. Some were pretty, some were absolutely not. Some looked amazing on the hanger and terrible when I tried them on. Some looked boring until I actually wore them. Eventually, I found one that felt perfect. And the second I saw myself in it, I knew that was the dress. The rest of the day was spent talking about prom, taking pictures, and getting excited. It was one of those days that felt like a movie. And between all of those dates were hundreds of smaller moments, random phone calls, good morning texts, late night conversations, inside jokes, tiny gifts, walks together, laughing until our stomachs hurt. The little moments that nobody else remembers, but that somehow become your favorite memories. These are just the biggest dates, the ones that stand out the most, the ones I'll probably remember years from now. And honestly, they've been some of the happiest months of my life. Idiots. After I found the dress, we spent forever walking around and looking at random stores. At that point, we weren't even shopping anymore. We were just hanging out. We kept talking about what prom would be like, what songs they might play, and whether we'd embarrass ourselves dancing. Honestly, we probably will. Thank you, Diary, for listening and for always being here for me. I think I'm going to go now and spend some time with my boyfriend. Honestly, writing all of this down made me realize how many amazing memories we've already made together. And hopefully there will be many more. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. If you did, make sure to let me know because I had so much fun making it, and tell me what kinds of videos you'd like to see next. Anyway, that's all from me today. Bye, Diary.